Yeah.
Fighting in uniform is mind. Going on violent protests is mind. All these things are expressions of mind. Consciousness does not fight. Consciousness does not acquiesce. Consciousness does not get down on its knees and worship itself, in effect, or worship some deity that someone's decided they should worship to be, part of a church structure. You've got to believe this or you're not a Christian. You've got to believe this or you're not Judaism. You've got to believe this or you're not a Muslim. In other words, don't go out of that box or you're not one of us anymore. You know,
Yes.
It's classic mind imprisonment. And so in a conscious world, which is what we're going towards, religion will be, we might talk about it if we're discussing the old times, but we won't be doing it because consciousness doesn't do religion, just as it doesn't do hierarchical structures, fear, acquiescence, and all these things. Now, you take all those out of today's society, you are in a completely different world, and that's what we're going into.
Yeah. When you talked just a little while ago there about synchronicity and the magic of life and the playfulness of life when you're in the flow and everything is going smoothly. Do you remember the other day when we went into the Barcelona musical theatre? What did you see there when you walked through the door? We went down the steps. What was on that big back wall?
Yeah, what I saw was, first of all, a big poster for some show involving dragons, reptilians.
This was the zoo. They're going to do
it was the zoo, was it? So I don't speak Spanish.
Zoo, the dragons in the zoo.
I thought it was a show because it was all in Spanish and it was in a theatre. I thought
the huge dragon, you know, on the back wall.
It was a zoo. Oh, that was interesting.
The zoo.
And right next to that one was
for Tibidabo.
Something to do with the moon.
Yeah, there's a cartoon in 4D thing in Tibidabo up in the big play park. And it says, Pugem a la luna, let's go up to the moon.
Yeah.
You know, on either side. Now, in David's talk, he talks about the dragons, all the symbolism, the masonry symbolism, and goes into great depth. In fact, today we spent 2 hours travelling around the Gothic area looking at all the dragons, all the symbolism.
Barcelona is full of dragons, it is.
Yeah.
All the architecture of a certain age, it's just churches and other, long-standing buildings. They're just full of dragon symbolism. But and also I was looking around the theatre after seeing the dragon poster and the moon poster right at the entrance as I walked in. They were doing a rehearsal of Hair, weren't they?
Oh yes, Hair, the
dawning of the Age
musical.
of Aquarius and all that stuff. Yeah. So
and we started singing Age of Aquarius there, you know, so it was just so synchronistic.
Well, I didn't
wasn't it,
start
David?
singing because I didn't want to clear the building. You know? My singing can clear a building quicker than a fire alarm, I tell you. But I know these are small things in a way, but once you start following your intuitive knowing, these small, fine detail and major synchronistic events in your life just become part of your life. You start to accept them because they're common to you, and it can happen to anybody. Once you get out of mind, which is blocking this flow and trying to hold you on the train tracks, then you allow in this incredible adventure of life, which is open to all of us. I don't care if you're well known or work in a store or work in an office or sweep the streets. Very important people sweep the streets. What a state we'd be in if they weren't around. And yet they get looked down upon. Oh, he sweeps the streets. Well, it's a bloody good job he does, or we'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. That's just an experience. Just an experience. It's not who you are. You are not a street cleaner. You are not a doctor. That's your experience. You are consciousness. And when you break out of that limited perception of self-identity with job, body, name, and such like, then you break into the real level that all of us are, which is consciousness, and everything changes. And it's a world that we are going to see expand and expand as what we call the years pass. And our children and grandchildren are going to live in a very different world to the one that we have lived in and are still living in to a large extent.
So what would you say is your sole purpose, your mission in life? Helping people to wake up through exposing the darker side? Or how would you define yourself, your job?
I don't. I don't have a job.
Okay.
I don't have a mission. I get up every day and I do what I believe and know to be right, and I follow my intuitive knowing. That's it. Whatever it is that's been pushing me through the years, I just open myself to allow it to go on pushing me and bringing into my life what I need to experience, what I need to do. And it's a hoot, really. I mean, there are many challenges and many people trying to bring you down, but they won't, because this is the way it's going to be. We're in an epoch change. And I don't care whether you've got letters after your name, or you're Queen this, or Fanny this, or whatever, Lord this. I don't care if you own newspaper bloody empires, or you run the European Union, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Those people are a fly on an elephant's back to this epoch change. And they're going to have to face that. I think some of them are beginning to see it, but they're going to have to face that big time in the next few years. And they might expand their awareness and consciousness and become who they could truly be as a result of that as well. And no one will be clapping round of applause if that happens more than me, because I have no animosity towards these people. I have no hatred of them, because if we hate these people and we have animosity towards them, then we become them. What you fight, you become. So I'm not fighting these people. I don't want to fight anybody. I'm not interested in fighting. I'm interested in letting the information be the awakener of people to their true magnitude. And the more opportunities that I get, and my goodness me, they're coming out the woodwork now.
Yes.
Fantastic to get this information out. The more people will have the opportunity to realize that they're not who they thought they were. They are amazing.
Yes.
And we're going to live in a great world. My kids are going to live in a great world. My grandkids are going to live in an even better world, because this is going to move on and get more and more expansive. And it's just I just feel so privileged to be who I am, doing what I am at the time that I'm doing it. It's just it's surreal to me. It's surreal. Yes, but it's a nice surreal, and I think it's going to get nicer really eventually when we see the real roots and the real foundations of this control system start to come down. It's an amazing place, this reality, because when you're in an out of body state, you resonate to the frequency that goes with your state of awareness. And so different states of consciousness don't gravitate to each other, because they're on different frequencies, they're in different realms of reality. But through this, what we call physical vehicle, through this holographic computer, as I call it, consciousness of infinite states of awareness can interact with other consciousness of infinite states of awareness. We can share the same reality, and that's what makes this reality so interesting, challenging, because it's very vibrationally dense at the moment, but not as much as it was. But it's a wonderful place to experience and interact and play the game of life, which goes on forever and ever.
And ever and ever.
Yeah, it's just an experience. Whatever experience we're having, good, bad, or indifferent, it ain't forever. It will change, and the only thing that's forever is life itself.
Great time to be alive, David.
It is. Well, it's a great time to be alive here, because all eternity we are alive, because that's all we can be.
That's all we can be. Infinite consciousness.
Isn't that a good way to end?
Yeah, that means we're ending.
You know what they used to call me years ago? They used to say, David Icke's the prophet of doom. That's what they used to say in the early 90s. He's the prophet of doom. And actually, you know, nothing could be further from the truth, really, because when you see life for what it is, it's a joy, or should be a joy, and it's our choice to make it a joy.
Full of love, happiness, peace, harmony, vibrating together.
Or war, stress,
We choose.
fear. We choose.
Our choice.
Yeah, collectively and individually.
Yes.
And we're at a real enormous point of choice now.
Yeah.
But the way it's going, it's a done deal. It's part of the story of this reality, is that we're now entering a period of enormous expansion. Hallelujah to that, brother and sister. And the Pope's coming. Pope's coming Sunday.
The Pope's coming Sunday. And Amma, the famous spiritual...
The hugger.
The hugger. The
Yeah.
hugger is here as well this weekend.
Yes, and so the Pope's coming on Sunday. I sent him an invite to the talk Saturday. He said he was busy. And he never invited me to see his sermon on Sunday, but if he did, I'd be busy as well. Still, takes all sorts.
Okay, David. Well,
Been a pleasure,
it's
Suzanne.
been an
Thank you,
absolute
Ruth.
pleasure. Thanks a million for your time, for your
problem.
patience.
No problems.
And well, we wish you all the success for Saturday. And you're going to have a major event in 2013, October.
12.
Or 2012.
October 27th.
October the
yeah,
27th.
we have a big event, a real big event in London. I've got to do the contract details
Right,
yet. But,
okay.
but we're going to have a real big event in October 2012, yeah.
So we'll enjoy you on Saturday, and we hope you enjoy us on Saturday. Big time.
It's a hoot in
Thanks a
Barcelona.
million.
I've had great fun already. You know, it's an amazing place. Great people too.
Okay. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks very much.
Mine's a large one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.